Hello and welcome back to my channel. With me today I have a video of a white lady explaining on white culture and Christianity. Now if you are an African like me, then this is something you don't want to miss. In this video, this palm color lady explains how white culture is based on articism and how Christianity is a narrative created by colonizers in order to justify what they were doing to other people in Africa, even in North America. Now she explains or talks about a lot of things in this video. More reason you need to watch this video to the end. Let's take a look at her video, and afterwards we talk more about her video and what she is talking about. Here's a clip of her video.
White culture, if you could even call it culture, is based in racism. It was a narrative created by colonizers, like my Portuguese ancestors, in order to justify what they were doing to other people on the continent of Africa and even here in North America. And the narrative was that we white people were better than all other races. And they did so through Christianity. They took the Bible and different scripture verses, twisted it around in order to fit the narrative of colonialism and white supremacy, and also the patriarchy. And the patriarchy is white man in power. White supremacy is white man in power. Colonialism is white man in power. And Christianity, for the most part nowadays, is white man in power. There are historical references and proof where the Catholic Church actually said to enslave an African was to save their soul. The kidnapped and enslaved Africans that were here in North America were preached different scripture verses than were actually in the Bible. And that's why they weren't allowed to read. Because if they could read, then they could see that these scripture verses were incorrect and they couldn't be controlled anymore by this white God. And white people, we didn't identify as white until colonialism. We identified as Portuguese or Latvian or German or Italian or French. But then colonialism came around, and then all of a sudden we became white and we were superior because we were the chosen race by God, and the scripture verses proved it. And we had to go into other people's lands and preach the gospel when really it was all a ruse. It was all an excuse to go in and rape and pillage the land and the people and the cultures. So when I say that white culture is based in racism, it's based in racism. Christianity was the Trojan horse of white supremacy and colonialism. And Western Christianity, as we know today, is still based within superiority. All Christians think that they're better than everybody else. I grew up in it. I'm very familiar with the culture. And it's part of the problem. There's a reason why most of Trump's supporters are Christians. It's because they don't even realize that the conditioning of colonialism and Christianity and the patriarchy is so deeply embedded within them and their identity that they don't even see the truth. Christianity is based in superiority, in white superiority, in white culture, which is all based in racism.
Now, before the 17th century, people did not think of themselves as belonging to something called the white race. But once it was invaded, it quickly began to reshape the modern world. Now, hundreds of years ago, the church laid the foundation for the theft of the Americans, enslavement of Africans and Native Americans, and centuries of brutal colonization worldwide, with the doctrine that was okay to take land and liberty from people who were not Christian. Now, today, American neighborhoods are more segregated than they were years immediately following the Civil War. Now, these are not minor aberrations, side notes to our history, either as a country or a church. Now, WS, articism, and segregation are a cancer running through major organs. Now, we cannot get rid of them by pretending they are not central to our history and central to the way we live today. And in our hearts, we know they are. Now, this is why so many Christian institutions and leaders have failed to speak out directly against R2Cism and WS, instead taking refuge in recent days in vague calls for prayer and healing. Now, we know if we confront these foundational American sins directly, their supporters will cause convulsions that may tear our institutions apart. To have any hope of healing, palm color people must acknowledge some facts. Like, they must admit their ignorance, their own apathy, like discomfort with people who are different from them. They must admit their own desire to believe that they are better than others or everyone else. Their willingness to take things that are not theirs and things they did not earn, like their profound bent to lie about themselves, their willingness to do violence to get what they want, and willingness to turn away when violence is done to others because it benefits them. Now, let's take a look at some of the reactions from different people and how they just reacted to this video. The first comment reads, almost everything she said is correct until she generalized Christianity just because a race of people turned it into something else. This one says that that's why they are going crazy about how we are finding out more about who we really are, and that's why they are putting policies and laws to try and stop us. Now, read White Too Long by Robert P. Jones. It goes in depth on this with dates and historical events to back it. Now, I know things have changed. White lady speaking the truth about us. Okay, these are a few comments I picked out at random, but I would really love to hear your thoughts on this video as well. So as usual, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. From me, it's a bye-bye and see you in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this video.